Before this mall, people came to another place, the Seneca Mall, the 1980s. I even worked there for a while. Nobody thought it would ever disappear. And now, this place feels a little like that too. I live just a couple miles away from where the Seneca Mall once stood. And today, it's a Tops supermarket. 10 or 11 years ago, it was a Kmart. But I remember the Seneca Mall. It was special. Warm and friendly, great concourse. You could still picture the stores. I worked at Baker's Shoe Store for about a year and a half, and then I was promoted down the hall to the Wild Pair Shoe Store. I was the assistant manager there. Across from the Seneca Mall is that strip of land there. That housed the General Cinemas, the Ground Round Restaurant, and a few other retail shops along the way. But something changed, and the Seneca Mall and that adjacent plaza were deemed not modern enough in the early part of the 1980s. And thus came the McKinley Mall era. $50 million project back then. It's an awful lot of money. And I remember all the buzz and the excitement when the McKinley Mall opened. And it really changed the vibe here at the Seneca Mall, almost overnight. The traffic in the Seneca Mall plummeted a lot faster than most people expected. You can't tell from today, but when the mall opened, it was a big deal around here. At one time, this mall felt like a permanent replacement. When I used to go to the mall, people came for the anchor stores and the smaller shops around them. That's what made the mall feel like, well, a mall. There are still a few names people recognize. The lights are still on. People still walk through here. It's just not the same kind of busy it used to be. What people come here for now feels different than it used to. Shortly after the McKinley Mall opened, a reporter from the Buffalo Evening News came into the Wild Pair and asked me, how's business? And it wasn't the same this Christmas at the Seneca Mall. The change was very obvious. I was very frank with him and I told him that sales were down nearly 40% from the previous year. And rumors of a new anchor tenant at the McKinley Mall? I said, well, if that were to happen, we were doomed. Now, looking back, I realized that was very dramatic language, but I was simply being honest, and they printed it verbatim. You could imagine when the article hit the papers, the reaction of my manager, the reaction of the Seneca Mall management, even our corporate offices. They were not happy with me, but I was just stating what was obvious. You know, I kept this bag from my time at the Wild Pair. I don't know why. What I didn't expect, and what wasn't obvious at the time, was that the McKinley Mall would eventually follow a similar path. Slowly, at first, then all at once. The McKinley Mall didn't just start changing recently. It's been happening for several years. I'm just noticing it differently now.